Wait, shit, I can't say that. Chef's kiss. I feel like this could go either really well or really poorly, so let's just get started. Hello everyone, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a fun video for you guys. I'm going to be giving you a lot of recommendations based off of your specific tropes. So what I did was post a question box on my Instagram story at Lauren's Reading Corner, and I had you guys tell me your favorite trope. Basically, I just picked the ones that were most common. So I'm going to be giving you recommendations based off of your tropes. I know that sometimes recommendation videos can be a little dragging. I feel that, I get that. I hate sitting through someone talking about a book for 20 minutes. So I'm going to try my best to keep it short and sweet. I'm not the best at explaining books because once I read them, I literally forget about them and I can't process anything that has really happened. So needless to say, bear with me, and I just want to give you guys all the recs. I love all of these books. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this video. So that's really it. Let's just get on into the video. Okay, let's get started. So the first trope, I got literally a surprising amount of you commenting it. It is the single dad trope. And when I was going through my Goodreads and like trying to figure out what single dad books I've read, I actually read like a really big amount. So I guess it is like a common trope that you guys like, but I have notes on my phone, so that's what I'm going to be looking at because I just want to give you the best explanation that I absolutely can. So the first book I have, it's Kindle Unlimited. I read it on my Kindle, obviously, so I don't have it with me. It is Change on the Fly by Maren. I'll put the picture right here. So this is a hockey romance. It's also a nanny, and it's also sister's best friend. So I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it like 4 stars. It was super quick. It's basically about this hockey player, and he has a half sister from another marriage. Like his dad got married. He ends up finding out that his half sister and her husband passed away, and he is next of kin to take care of the son. His other sister, her best friend, is in need of a job and making extra money, so he hires her as the nanny, and she comes along to all the hockey games. Obviously, you know what happens, but technically he's not a single dad, but he also is because he ends up adopting the kid. It's really good, and I honestly really recommend this to you. So the next is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I cannot for the life of me find my Heartless book. Like, I am so irritated. I cannot find it. But this is a nanny, and I feel like as I was going through these books and trying to explain it to you guys, there wasn't much to explain besides the fact that she becomes his nanny, and he works like a pretty like long, like tedious job on the farm. I guess he runs the farm. I don't really remember. And he needs someone to watch his kid while he's working for the whole summer. So if you read the first one, Flawless, Summer, the female main character, she recommends her best friend Willa, and Willa is like this wild child, and Kate is this stick in the mud, has a stick up his ass, and he kind of like allows Willa to teach him how to let loose. And it's just really nice to see the bond that Willa and his son like kind of form. This is genuinely one of my favorites throughout the series. Something about Kate is so hot. I will literally love him to the day I die. Oh, my flashlight is on. Okay. The next book is, these are the books that I have now. The Confidence of Wildflowers by Micaela Smeltzer. Sorry, Micaela. Okay, this is Next Door Neighbor, Age Gap, Forbidden Love. This is the first book in a series that's really just 2 of them right now. The third one is coming out in October. This book is like unhinged drama. That's really all that I can say about it. Like, it is the most dramatic book, and I think I didn't take it too seriously. Honestly, let me go and put this out there. With age gaps, I don't take it too seriously. I just remember like, oh, this is a book. Like, let's chill. This isn't real life. This is a book. But this one was gossip filled. There is tea in here, like things happen. It is unhinged, and if that alone won't get you to read this book, I don't know what will. A really quick read, and it does leave you off on a cliffhanger, so if you want, you can read the second one. Not as good. Definitely I'm going to be reading the third one because I just can't wait to see what Micaela Smeltzer pulls out of her ass for the third one. Next is an underrated book, to say the least. This is The Player Next Door by K.A. Tucker. You guys know K.A. Tucker. She wrote The Simple Wild, and I feel like nobody ever reads this book, and you have to because it is so good. This is also a second chance romance. They dated in high school, and he broke her heart, and she ends up No, she doesn't marry anyone. She ends up moving back and she ends up buying the house next door to him. He's a single dad and she ends up being his high school teacher. So it's nice to see the way like they're gonna work out that situation. Jane is such a good book boyfriend. Okay, my last and final single dad trope. I can make like an entire book out of a book. I can make an entire video out of these recommendations. This is Misconduct by Penelope Douglas. Yes, I think the main character, Tyler, he's some sort of senator or like running for a political position. I don't know politics. He meets Easton at a Mardi Gras party and he like doesn't know who she is because obviously they're wearing like masks. And they have this like moment and then they go their separate ways and then she becomes his son's school teacher. I don't know, I have like a common theme about school teachers and single dads, but needless to say, this book is really, really tea-filled. Ugh, something about it. It is also dramatic and I just ate up every second of it. I see like it's forbidden, like she can't want him, he can't want her because she's teaching his son. Ugh. And it's also age gap. Oh my god, I forgot to say that. It's also age gap. There's a common theme because I literally read most of these books in like a span of like a month or two. It's very spicy, I will give it that. Like if you like spicy books, I will give it that. Also, if I know people are gonna ask, my Dunkin' order right now is a medium cold brew, 2 pumps of pumpkin and 2 pumps of hazelnut and then almond milk. Oh, chef's kiss, so good. Moving on, the next trope is going to be fake dating. Y'all eat up fake dating, to say the least. So I had to pull out some of my minuscule fake dating books because I do not read fake dating as much. I don't know, something about it is cringy to me, but that's me. First book we have, obviously my tried and true, The Bodyguard. This is the perfect book to get you into fake dating. She did fake dating so well. You guys know I love this book and I will recommend it until the day I die. Basically, she is like a bodyguard. I don't know like the true term, and her assignment is this like famous actor who needs to go like under the radar because his mom is sick. She goes to do that assignment and he's like, hey, guess what, like I can't put my mom through worry, you have to pretend to be my girlfriend while you're protecting me. So they're living on his ranch for like a few weeks and she has to obviously pretend to be his girlfriend. Ugh. God, I love this book. It's so good. It is a 5-star read, to say the least. Please read it. I'm begging you. I know I've put so many people onto this book, but I swear you will not be disappointed if you like the fake dating. Better than the movies. Why is there glare? Better than the movies. Like, I don't love this book, but so many of you guys love it. It is YA. It's about childhood friends to lovers, their neighbors. She is she's a cringe girl. She's cringy, but you guys love it, so I'm gonna put my opinions to the side and recommend this book. She needs someone to help her get the guy that she likes, and it's going to be her neighbor. He is going to help her. He's not the guy she likes, but you know what I mean. He agrees to fake date her in exchange for a parking spot like by their house that they always fight over. I don't know. You know what? Like, you guys love it, so rate it if you want. So many people love it. I'm just me, and I don't have a high tolerance for YA novels. That's it. Like, there are a few YA novels that I absolutely love, but this is one that I just feel meh about, and that's okay. But I know so many of you love it, so here it is. Better than the movies. Read it if you want. Guys, this is The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I don't remember if it's fake dating, but something in my pea-sized brain is telling me that it is, so I'm gonna roll with it. I looked it up last night and I couldn't find any info, so I'm pretty sure it's fake dating, and I'm pretty sure, I read this so long ago, I'm pretty sure that they are co-hosts for a radio show and no one will listen to it unless they're dating. I think, like, to make it believable and like for people to like listen, they have to either be exes or like dated. I can't remember, but I ate this book up. It's an age gap as well, but I'll stop you there. It is the woman being older and then the main character is younger, so it's kind of different in that aspect. I think it's a good representation of like switcheroony age gaps, and I actually enjoyed it. I'm gonna recommend this. I think you guys would like it. So many people are a little iffy about it, but something about it made me read it in like a few hours and I ate it up. So this is The X Talk. If you read it, let me know if it was fake dating, because I could be completely making that up. I can't remember. The next book is a Kindle Unlimited book, and again, this book is criminally underrated. Why does nobody talk about it? It is 6 Summers to Fall by C.W. Farnsworth. I don't know her last name. So basically, the female main character's father recently passed away. Her sister's getting married and she has to see her whole family, and they're honestly like not her favorite people because she thinks that they moved on too fast, blah blah blah. So everyone's worried about our female main character. As she goes home, she meets, well, it's not meet, she doesn't meet, she sees her next door neighbor for her whole childhood, who she was like in love with, but nothing ever came about it. So they reconnect, and the night before she has to leave for her sister's wedding trip, he's like, I'm gonna come with you. Like, I'm gonna take this off your chest and I'm gonna come with you. And he spends like the week at the lake with her family and for her sister's wedding, and it is so good. Oh my god, I love the male main character. I can't remember their names, but it is so good. It's a quick read and it's definitely very entertaining. I don't know why no one reads it. I loved it so much. Ugh. Our next tried and true little trope that you guys love is who did this to you? I do love that trope, but I have to take it in small doses because I don't know, aggressive men just like don't really do it for me. So the first book I have is Powerless by Elsie Silver. So this is the third book in the Chestnut Spring series. I talk about this series literally, I've run this series to the ground. That's how much I talk about it. But he's a hockey player and they're also childhood friends. Every book I read, they are childhood friends. So he is the token brother. He's the adopted brother. He's not related to, you know, the core brothers that we have, but they took him in because he has like a really hard family life, like non-existent family life. She's the cousin of the boys of the Chestnut Springs series, so just put that out. He's engaged to like this douchey guy. He's the absolute worst, and the night before the wedding, or no, the day of the wedding, Jasper swoops in and is like, you're coming with me, like you're not marrying this guy. So they fled to Chestnut Springs, wherever it is, the ranch, and they're basically in hiding, and like everyone's trying to like get Sloan and be like, why would you run out of your wedding, blah blah blah. Sloan has always been in love with Jasper. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, I fully read this book first in the series. I remember when this came out and I was like, why are y'all talking about it? I need to get to the end of this and understand why y'all are talking about it. So I fully read it and I didn't read anything else. So I was a little confused. Anyway, the next book, I literally fainted because I love this book so much. This is a fantasy book, so it's a little different than, there's not like really romance in it, but oh, it's so good. This is Once Upon a Broken Heart. My favorite book in the entire world right now. Evangeline is in love with this guy and he's about to get married to her stepsister, and she knows that there's a guy who's like, he's like a, what is he? What is he? Anyway, he's the Prince of Hearts. If he kisses someone, they die. So she goes to his church and she's like, hey, can you please stop this wedding? Because I literally can't even watch them get married. I'm sick over it. And he does something and then she's forever indebted to him, basically. I'm not going to tell you what he does or what happens, but I'm leaving it at that. It is phenomenal. If you haven't read this book, you need to read it right now. I immediately finished this book and went on to the second one. That's even worse. I can't even talk about that one because it makes me sick to my stomach. And ever since I read that book, I've been staring at a wall, contemplating my entire life. If that alone doesn't make you read this book, then nothing will. Okay, moving on. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I absolutely loved it. I did not expect to love it because y'all were hyping it up. It's a mafia romance, and Ada and Callum are brought together to be married to end the feud between their families. And she hates him, she despises him, she wants him dead, and he wants the same for her. So they like basically like try to kill each other. Please read it because he will kill for her, but she will kill for him. She's a badass woman. The next book actually is the definition of who did this to you. Actually, all of them. This is My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shen. This book is unhinged. Unhinged. It is unhinged. That is the only word I can use to describe it. This is another arranged marriage, and he's a psychopath, Romeo, like an actual psycho. Like, let me tell you, he's dark. Like, it is a dark romance, so take it with a grain of salt. Y'all are probably gonna read this and be like, why did she recommend it to me? But something about it, oh, there's tea, there's drama. He's crazy, she hates him, and like, he will kill anyone who comes near her, but he'll also do anything for her. But like, it's also crazy, so take it with a grain of salt. That's really all I can say. I'm like nervous to recommend it to you guys. I have Brother's Best Friend for you. I know you guys love A Brother's Best Friend, so I do too. The next two books that I'm gonna recommend are like the same book in different fonts. The first one is Say You Swear. I think it's by Meghan Brady. I don't remember. Obviously, I'm gonna have it on the screen. But this is brother's best friend, but also with a twist. So it's also like a bit of a love triangle. I don't really want to say much about this book besides the fact that you need to read it. Noah is the best book boyfriend actually ever. Actually, all of these book boyfriends are, or else I wouldn't be recommending it. He is perfect, and there is much drama and tea to go into this book. Like, going along with that book is All the Little Things. I don't remember who wrote it, but I'm gonna have the cover here. That's basically literally the same book in different fonts. There's tea, there's drama, but it's not a love triangle. But she's in love with him her whole life, and her brother and her dad go away. They need someone to watch her because she's still in high school. Meanwhile, he's like 2 years older than her. So he comes to stay in the house, and obviously tensions arise. They give in to the temptation, and there they are. And they're keeping their relationship secret from her brother. Next one, this is another one. Oh my God, they're all literally in the same font. The next one is The Sister Between Us by Hailey Dickert. Get the first part of the book, them being in high school. They're basically just like a trio. So the two siblings are twins. So Chloe and Jake are twins, and then I don't remember her name. She is Chloe's best friend. And you get to see them in high school and them realizing that they love each other, and then something happens and they split apart, and then you get them 10 years later reconnecting for the first time. So it's, again, second chance. This book is very long to me. I don't know. I feel like I was skipping through the last pages a little bit. Last one. It is Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage. Ugh. It's a cowboy romance. It's brother's best friend. Like, they're keeping their relationship a secret. He's helping her work through some trauma that she has, and they are so perfect. Luke Brooks is the perfect man. I would do anything for him. I know that you guys have seen this all over Instagram because it's pretty much going viral. It should be, because it is so good. It's basically the Chestnut Springs in like a different font, in like a brother's best friend way. It's hard explaining these books because you don't want to give away the plot, because even on the back of the books, like, they basically say nothing. So you just have to know that it's brother's best friend. No, because guys, I literally had to sit down because my knees were killing me. Last and final trope, we have childhood friends to lovers. As if every single book that I didn't recommend was childhood friends to lovers. As you can tell, I literally eat that up. There is not a book. If it says childhood friends, I am reading it and I am loving it. These two books are basically the same. I think that this one is superior and this one so many people love. If you've been living under a rock, then you haven't read these two books. This is Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. This is Carley Fortune, Every Summer After. Lake House Romances. This is, I hated the plot twist in this. Y'all can say then I should have hated this plot twist. There's a reason. There's a reason. Just know that. There's a reason. I'm not gonna say what it is, but the plot twist, the thing that drives them apart, there's a reason. It's justified. If you don't know, read it. If you read it already, look at or DM me and I'll explain it to you. This one I couldn't justify. I could not justify. Ugh. Anyway, I'm not gonna like put you off, but that's how I feel about it. They had 6 summers together, you know, they lived together, not live together, they live next to each other on the lake. They fall in love, something happens, they drive them apart, and then here they are a few years later, they're coming back. I didn't love this book, but I know so many people did, so I'm gonna recommend it. This one, I love to my core. So another lake house romance. They are neighbors and he's perfect. He is my life. Elliot, I love you. Elliot, if you're watching this, I love you. Essentially, like, they spend summers together. They fall in love. Something happens that drives them apart. So they're meeting again 10 years later and he's like, I still love you. And she's like, no, I can't look at you. And that's literally what happens in the book. And then they reconnect. And that was like one of the first books that I've read that really made me feel a lot of emotion, so that holds a special place in my heart. Okay, next we have the first book in the Addicted series. I actually really like this book. Everyone was like, the first book isn't as good. It was the second book that did not do it for me. That annoyed me. This is Childhood Friends to Lovers. They both have addictions. That's literally the premise of the book. That's why it's called Addicted. They have been fake dating as well, kind of like draw attention away from their addictions. Like, nobody knows that they're addicted to any. She's addicted to sex and he's addicted to drinking, so those are their addictions. I really liked this book, but I can't do series. I have no attention span in my head, so I find it hard to read series. I get bored of it and I want to move on to the next. My last book of this video is one that I recently read and like really loved it. It's Emma of 83rd Street. Okay, I'm gonna set the scene. If you know me, Emma by Jane Austen is my top favorite piece of literature. It's basically what has raised me. It is the reason I am the person I am today. I've seen the movie, all movies, all renditions of it. I've read 87 retellings of it. I just love the story. I don't know why no one else really reads it, but if you've seen Clueless, that's essentially like, that's a retelling of Emma. Emma is like this spoiled girl, but she has such a pure heart, and nobody she has a pure heart. She's such a good person. This retelling, so there are two boys, George and Ben Knightley, and they live in the backyard. They share a backyard essentially, and she lives with her dad and her sister. Ben and Margot, Emma's sister, get married, they move away, so she has to deal with that, and like because she loves her sister so much. And then she's basically just like moving through her life as a 23-year-old, and this is age gap. George is 30, and he's watched her grow up into like a woman, and he realizes like she's just like the love of his life. If you literally don't know about Emma, just please give this a try. Like, I think this will put such a nice taste in your mouth because it's just so good. But I can't recommend this enough. Please give it a try. Guys, I feel like my mouth is gonna stop talking because I've been talking for so much, but that is my long little recommendations video. It felt so nice to just sit down and talk about some of my favorite books and recommend them to you. So I hope you guys give them all a try, and I feel like you won't be disappointed. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have other ideas for videos, comment down below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.